Hello there. Today is the 29th of December 2025, and welcome back from a very long weekend. We went on a bit of a break, but yeah, we're back in here. Merry Christmas to all of you, and I believe that you've been having yourselves a very great time this festivities. But as always, we need to come back here to serve the motherland. And so we're back in here today from now to 2 p.m. We're on with Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Desmond Okrekudanson. This program is live on Facebook and Metro TV Ghana. You can also join us on DSTV channel 277. We are also live on 94.1 FM and on the multi-TV Digibox. Well, coming up today on the show, we'll be taking a look at the assessment of this particular government, focusing on a number of sectors that includes education, health. We'll also be having conversations about the presidency and how it has fared so far this year. Presidential correspondents will be joining us on the table and also getting some thoughts from our guest also about all of that. And then, well, on Christmas Day, Metro TV, Original TV, and also Original 91.9 FM, we decided to step out and share the smile, share the season with some mothers at the Suhum Government Hospital. We'll be telling you about that very, very important assignment that we did, Metro Care, to make sure that we share the season with all of our viewers and some persons out there. And of course, today we'll open the phone lines. You can share with us your thoughts on the discussions that we will be having here on the show. In due time, we will put that on the screen. For now, and Harriet Addy is standing by. She's back from the holiday. Harriet, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Good afternoon.
I'm okay. How's your Christmas?
Well, I slept for 2 days, and then Saturday I came to work. So.
Oh, that's all you did?
Yes. You had a long weekend. I didn't.
Well, I had quite an eventful weekend. Yeah, but it's all good. We're back in here as always. For our job, we need to serve the people out there whilst they're on holidays. Yeah, so that's it. Harriet has the latest updates. So Harriet, take us away.
So let's take a look at what's coming up in February.
I didn't know when just assassin.
But say if one fasonia empra enfia.
Na e woni e and dem na enfia.
Asemi to me man any opeswe, wo betumi ekulu. Mr. Debbie.
The festive season is here again, and your most preferred estate partner is giving you 25% discount on land sale. Yes, for our Bronya Asase promo, Estate Masters is offering this massive discount for outright purchases. This includes free indenture, free site plan, and a free site visit. So what are you waiting for? Rush now and secure a plot of land while it is still hot. Reach out to us using the numbers below or visit our website at www.estatemastersgh.com. Estate Masters, your most preferred estate partner.
This December, Faith Life Church crowns the year with 2 unforgettable nights of worship and power. On Tuesday, 30th December at 7 p.m. Get ready for a transformational encounter, a night of music ministration featuring Team Eternity, Akase Brimpong, the Faith Life Collective, guest minister Pastor Emmett Konedu. Then on Wednesday, 31st December at 9 p.m., join us for a glorious watch night service as we cross from 2025 into 2026 under open heavens. With MOG Music and the Faith Life Collective leading prophetic praise and Pastor Daniel Yao entry, releasing divine instruction for your new year. Venue for both events is the Junction Mall, Nungwa Barrier. 2 nights, 30th and 31st December. One encounter with God. Faith Life Church, step into 2026.
From finding your dream home to building a legacy for your family, the Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you are getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches, land commission, checking social planning authority, checking everything to make sure that what you are buying is not a problem or a challenge prone transaction.
The stress of even not owning a house and constantly coughing up to rent is a big issue.
Join me, Hannah Atiasi, and my distinguished panelists as we delve into exciting conversations. Season 3 of the Homeowner Show, every Saturday at 6 p.m., only on Metro TV. Don't just own a house, build a legacy for your family.
Welcome back. This is the news bulletin on Good afternoon, Ghana. Let's just go straight to the stories. Now, for years, access to clean drinking water has been a daily struggle for residents of Asin South in Ghana's central region. Today, that struggle is easing. Young Visionary Leaders Ghana, with support from its partners, has delivered mechanized borehole to 3 communities, bringing safe water closer to home and keeping children in school instead of on a long, dangerous water journey.
Illegal mining, or galamsey, continues to destroy rivers, pollute water sources, and make water treatment more expensive and sometimes impossible. Rivers that once sustained communities are now unsafe for human use. Residents living in and around Asin Domiabra, Asin Ngresi, in the Asin South district of the Central Region are not exempted from the effects of the galamsey activities, as about 38% of households in this district still depend on water sources that are unsafe or unprotected. The intervention by the Young Visionary Leaders Ghana, with support from Love Spring Water for Water Denmark, is changing the narrative by providing mechanized borehole for residents. Here is the executive director of the organization explaining their motivation.
At least they will not spend many hours or 3 hours, 4 hours in search of clean drinking water, because they have to provide the households water before they come back to school. And so some of them come to school very tired, exhausted, and so therefore they end up sleeping during classes hours. And we believe that once we have clean drinking or water station within the community, they will be able to access this and then come to school on time. And of course, when they come to school, they don't have to walk many miles to have access to water. And so therefore this water over here will also provide them with clean source that they can drink. One thing that the headmaster mentioned was that just a year before we came here, a student was going to fetch water across the roadside, and that student was knocked down by a car, and the student died at a spot. And so what is life without water? So these children should not be denied this basic human right.
Some beneficiaries of the mechanized borehole spoke to Metro News.
The children, the kitchen staff, they will have access to good drinking water or potable water for cooking. And then it will also help the student not to cross the road, not to go about searching for water. All that they need is bring their water bottle, and then they will have access to drinking water.
Now they've seen a lot of investment in this. If they spoil it tomorrow, it means it's going to be a help to us. So they have to take very good care. And I'll make sure that I follow. There will be a committee in place to take good care of the facility.
The commissioning by Young Visionary Leaders Ghana and its partners directly supports SDG 4, that is quality education, SDG 3, good health and well-being, and most importantly, SDG 6, clean water and sanitation.
Some stories in agriculture. Stakeholders in the sector, food systems and leadership and entrepreneurship converge in Accra for the 3rd edition of the SDG Hangout, an event aimed at advancing conversations around the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals with a specific focus on SDG 20 hunger.
The event brought together development practitioners and policy advocates to deliberate on practical ways of addressing food insecurity and malnutrition in the country. Discussions during the program highlighted the urgent need for sustainable agricultural practices, improved access to nutritious food, and stronger collaboration between the public and private sectors to tackle hunger and malnutrition, particularly among vulnerable populations.
The whole idea of the SDG Hangout is to demystify the Sustainable Development Goals, to make it a daily practice or to make it a daily activity. So we all know that we all have roles to play. So whether you are a leader, whether you are an entrepreneur, you're a community leader, a traditional ruler, wherever you find yourself, the SDGs are supposed to be lived practicably. So basically that's the Hangout, and every month we take a particular SDG goal and we talk about it, we deliberate, thought leadership, and then everybody gets a role to play.
The speakers emphasized that achieving zero hunger requires not only increased food production, but also efficient distribution systems, investment in smallholder farmers, and the promotion of nutrition-sensitive policies.
At the moment, we are in 2025, almost entering 2026. We have 4 years to achieve the SDG goals. In 2030, we are supposed to be able to see some evidence. But what is Ghana experiencing at the moment? Ghana is experiencing the double burden of malnutrition, where we are experiencing overnutrition and undernutrition. And these two are playing now simultaneously. And this is as a result of a lot of lifestyle changes, as a result of urbanization, our food environment, what we are having available to us as a result of affordability, accessibility, and a whole lot of other factors.
The SDG Hangout series is expected to continue engaging stakeholders on other critical development issues as Ghana works towards meeting the 2030 SDG targets.
Now let's go to Boko, where security has been beefed up for the ongoing Samampid Festival of the people of Boko in the Upper East region. Now this was done ahead of President Mahama's arrival and participation in the festival today. Now let's cross over to our regional correspondent Ibrahim Abode for some update. Hello, Ibrahim.
Yes, all right.
Thank you for joining us. Now, tell us how the festival has been marked in the past and what is the difference for this year?
So basically, the Samampid Festival is celebrated by the chiefs and people of the Kusak traditional area. These are individuals from the Kusasi ethnic group who usually traditionally celebrate it to mark the end of harvest. Okay. This is to thank the gods and God for the bumper harvest that they have actually gotten after each season. So that is basically the history behind this festival, and it has been celebrated every year. The sons and daughters of this land from near and far usually come down to celebrate this festival, and this year's own is celebrated at the Dadure Catholic Park in Boko, and as we speak, the people have already started the celebration. So many people, I can see drumming, dancing, singing, and everything ongoing. The anticipation is that His Excellency, the President, will be here to join the people. Yesterday, the majority leader, who is the Member of Parliament for Boko Central, led other MPs from the Kusak area to arrive in anticipation of this festival. And another crucial aspect of this festival this year has to do with the outcome of the mediation process that was brought to the president by Otumfuo. So it seems this year there's a bit calm as compared to the last 2 or 3 years where the conflict was ongoing. For now, we can't report any action or any attack or any casualty anywhere. So far, so good. The festival is ongoing, and the anticipation is that the first gentleman of the land will join the people at the Daduri Catholic Park for the celebration.
So that means that the president is not yet in?
He is not yet in. Other dignitaries who are in that I have spotted so far have been the national chairman of the People National Convention, that is Samson Awingobit, and many other dignitaries that I've also spotted. But most of these individuals are people from the Kusal area who are actually residing out of this area. We have also seen some MPs from this area and the regional minister and other people who are in, but so many other dignitaries, even including the overlord of the area, is yet to arrive at the Deba ground. So for now, it is just the beginning of the celebration, and the peak of it will be around 2 to 3 p.m. To 4 p.m. that way, that everyone will be set, and then everything will be set.
And how is security though? Does it look quite tight?
Yes, security is very tight, and earlier this morning we saw buses bringing police officers from Bolgatanga, that's the regional capital, to Boko. So there's massive security. The whole place is being fenced twice. The Deba grounds is fenced, and to get closer to the Dadure catchment area is being fenced. And I can see numerous police officers. I can see numerous army officers. There are other officers from the Ghana Prison Service. There's Red Cross. There's the ambulance service. And as we speak, everything is actually tight. And not just within the Deba grounds. When you go throughout Boko from the highways area straight to Sabongari, Natenga, and all other areas within Boko, you see security being around. Some are patrolling in their patrol vehicles. Others are also stationed at other vantage points to actually keep any form of aggression or attack from any angle. So far as today's activity is concerned, I can confidently say that security is tight.
Thank you very much for joining us. We have been talking to Ibrahim Abodi, who is our Upper East Regional Correspondent, giving us updates on the Samampede Festival. Now, away from that, the Eastern Regional Fire Command has revealed a surge in fire outbreak cases in the region this year compared to last year, with bushfires identified as the major contributing factor. The service is therefore cautioning the public to be extra vigilant as the Harmattan season approaches.
Speaking on the sideline of this year's get-together organized by the Bunso Fire Station, the Eastern Regional Commander of the Ghana National Fire Service, ACFO Asafo Afum, explained that the region has recorded an increase in fire outbreak cases compared to the previous years. He attributed the rise mainly to bushfires and urged the public to exercise greater caution, especially during the Harmattan season, when even minor negligence can trigger fires and lead to destruction of properties.
We are in the mood of celebration. Mostly we are not careful about how we handle particularly fire issues. You realize that people may drink and get intoxicated. Others too, because of overexcitement, they may leave their fires unattended to. And you know, around this time too, the weather is drier than usual, and so the least spark will start a fire. Therefore, we must be very cautious and to ensure that any time we are dealing with any naked fire, we handle them with care. If we are stepping out, let's ensure that the fire is put off. When we come back, we can turn it on, because now mostly all of us are using gas, and so it is important that you just turn it off. When you resume your cooking. In that way, all of us will be safe. What hurts us is that you call us, and by the time you get there, all your property acquired over the years is gone through a fire incident, and that is what we don't want to experience.
ACFO Asafo Afum also advised drivers to be cautious, particularly in the early hours of the day, due to poor visibility caused by the Harmattan conditions. He further cautioned against reckless driving, which often results in road traffic accidents during this period.
The festive season like this, especially the commercial drivers, they want to go and come quickly because you have a lot of people traveling. And we are cautioning that because the weather too is a bit not clear, especially in the early mornings. If you are traveling around that particular time, take your time. Make sure you see ahead of you before you do overtaking. Most of these accidents are head-on collision, meaning either someone is sleeping or they want to overtake. And if you don't see ahead, once in the process of overtaking, you meet an oncoming car, and what will happen is that you go into head-on collision. We should be very careful because we are losing a lot more people through road traffic incidents.
Now, away from that, founder and leader of Asumdwe Ntontom Somnyame Soma Foyao has claimed that over 30% of Ghanaian prisoners are innocent and have called on the government to grant a mass amnesty to ease the hardship in the country. Addressing attendees at the 2025 Asumdwin Tuntum Som Convention, he stressed that many prisoners have been jailed for crimes they did not commit.
I'm a prison I'm a catch the home. That I hold on my little. One more than a million wages. What would be a good piazzi? What would be about 30%? 1 year when you be that. A yimper, one more good piazzi. A real while. O Jama, there are 7 to a building. And that's round quality. Yanko Pansy, I send better 1 year to support a bill. And now Bassano, 1 million pound. What next year, do this as a name. Okay, Jessica. Now the Minister agency, no, the Empire Court.
About 30% of prisoners have been falsely accused. They have nothing to do with what they have been jailed for. This is hindering the progress of the nation. I call on government to intervene.
I know Siamain. The Abanya Shumo the Mazin home. What Judge Pong, how my words are what in to me better. One more lady, what better plan than you prepared, not prepared. Emperor Macana will present out for that. So, Bika Bonnie, our party of one now, or your Kuno, Obuno Kumpumpe. I had a quite a one or Yampa, I say, when we impan on your bonnet, order to me that, as a witch. And I ban a shred among Papa. What will do in Pocoto prison? What shall we hear?
And to other news, the Savannah Regional Minister Salisu Biawebe has warned all pharmacists in the region against the sale of illicit or unprescribed medicines to the public. The minister made this known during the Dingoro Street Movement Festival held to clean the street of drug abuse in the region.
The growing substance abuse crisis has engulfed almost every Ghanaian community, with the Savannah region alone recording 27 arrests of suspects with Indian hemp or marijuana in December. In a bid to combat the scourge, the Dingoro Street Movement Festival took to the streets of Damongo, the regional capital, to sensitize the public on the dangers of drug abuse. The enthusiastic festival, marked under the theme Cleaning the Streets of Substance Abuse, Together We Rise, aimed to boost community morale and fight substance abuse. The paramount chief of the Damongo Traditional Council, Damongo Rura, Borisa Kelly, who led the street walk, lamented the youth's involvement in illicit drugs, urging all to abstain for a better future. The convener of the festival, Habibu Muftau, appealed to drug campaigns to stop corrupting the youth and called on government to establish a rehabilitation center for repentant addicts.
Now this year we are looking at cleaning the streets of substance abuse, and it's a serious canker. It's creeping on the streets and something we really want to work towards. So this today we are on the streets of Damongo with Damongora, and we are entering all pharmacies, all peddlers in Damongo, provision stores. We are entering all the shops, and all we are doing is that we are pleading with them. We are pleading with them to consider the future of Damongo. They should consider the future of Savannah region. They should consider the future of this country and stop peddling in those areas. They are destroying our people. They are destroying the youth, and it will not help all of us. And I want to use this platform to make a passionate appeal. The regional minister is here, and we are asking that we need a rehab in Savannah region. A rehabilitation center will help us, because some of them have gone too deep, they are addicted, and we need a special outfit that can help them.
The president of the Gunja Land Youth Association, Hassan Baba Darison, urged pharmaceutical companies to eliminate harmful drugs from their stores.
Every profession has its ethics and rules. The pharmaceutical sector responsibility, which is part of the larger society of the health system. Their main aim is to design drugs that will keep the human being safe. But we have realized that some of them have gone out of their way to produce drugs that destroys the society. the production of drugs for specific purposes is fine for our society, but we have people who have learned how to combine these drugs to form another compound that destroys our system. Whilst it is our responsibility to make the ugliest noise to this pharmaceutical society, it is their responsibility to also keep the system clean of drugs that are injurious to life.
On his part, the Savannah Regional Minister warned pharmacists against selling illicit or unprescribed medicines, threatening license revocation if found to be engaging in distribution of the drugs.
Let me add that because we are at a pharmacy, per the rules of drug business, somebody must come with a prescription, and that prescription must be vetted before you issue it out. This is a warning to all pharmaceutical companies and licensed drug sellers that if you are actually dispensing of medicine, especially those opioids which are not prescribed by a licensed authority, you stand to actually get your license seized in that respect.
The event underscored the need for collective action to tackle substance abuse and build a resilient society.
Now let's do some stories on Good Morning Ghana. And on the show, Dr. Steve Manteo stated that both Gold Board and the Bank of Ghana have not been effective in their public outreach. He emphasized that the benefits of Gold Board far outweighs its drawbacks, adding that the sustained attacks on the institution stem from the fact that it is headed by Sami Gyamfi.
Between Gold Board and Bank of Ghana, they haven't been very proactive in their public outreach and communication. But I recently discovered something innovative, something beautiful that Bank of Ghana is doing to be able to finance its gold purchases. Ghanaians will remember time past when even to purchase cocoa, we'll go and raise syndicated loan from Europe to come and buy our cocoa. Ghanaians will also recall during the previous government's era, we will, for instance, go and raise money from the Eurobond market to come and shore up our cedi. Now, what the Bank of Ghana is doing now, which I found out recently, is that it does not print money to buy gold. It does not raise loan to buy gold. What it does is that it convenes a meeting of all the commercial banks and informs them of how much it intends to inject into the forex market. Then the commercial banks will indicate how much of the dollars they will need. Then the Bank of Ghana will ask them to bring the cedi equivalent of the dollars they will need. This cedi equivalent is passed on to the Gold Board. The Gold Board buys the gold and then gives it to Bank of Ghana, and then it is given to Bank of Ghana's off-takers. The gold is exported and we get the dollars. The dollars are returned to the commercial banks to replace the cedi equivalent of the dollars that we took from them earlier. So this is a brilliant scheme for financing domestic gold purchases that I think even Cocoa Board can learn from.
And to some tech news, entrepreneurs, innovators, and tech enthusiasts gathered at the 2025 edition of Tech Guru Meetup to exchange ideas and showcase innovative solutions poised to shape the future of the tech industry.
Tech Guru Meetup emphasized the need to leverage technology to solve real-world challenges, drive economic development, and create new opportunities across industries. The event featured other activities, including startup pitch competitions and exclusive showcasing of innovative products from young professionals.
We realized that in Ghana there wasn't the platform for people with innovative ideas to share them, right? So people have very good ideas that would support the society or solve a problem, but they're stuck in their bedrooms, in their halls of residences, in their homes, because there's just not the platform for them to come out and express or show what they've got. So Tech Hub came into being, and we encourage everybody with an idea, however stupid you might think that it sounds, just come, make your mistakes. That's what we're here for. We would allow you to pitch all your mistakes, and we'll find the experts to guide you on the right path.
The event concluded with a call for continued engagement, urging participants to carry forward the connections and insights gained to foster innovation and strengthen the tech community.
The government have to be able to partner with companies like Tech Hub, and then basically when such ideas are being introduced, we get funding, and then you get Tech Hub to nurture them and then hold Tech Hub accountable.
Well, that's it for the news update on Good Afternoon Ghana. My name is Harriet Addy. We take a quick break. We'll be back with more. To stay.
And Dad, if you're looking for safe, affordable entertainment for your little ones this festive season, GoTV is your family's happy place. On our fun-filled and educational channels, wild imaginations can run free. So, stick with GoTV, at home or on the go with GoTV Stream. GoTV is every happy child's happy place. GoTV. Love it.
This December, Faith Life Church crowns the year with 2 unforgettable nights of worship and power. On Tuesday, 30th December at 7 p.m., get ready for a transformational encounter, a night of music ministration featuring Team Eternity, Akase Brimpong, the Faith Life Collective, guest minister Pastor Emmett Konedu. Then, on Wednesday, 31st December at 9 p.m., join us for a glorious watch night service as we cross from 2025 into 2026 under open heavens. With MOG Music and the Faith Life Collective leading prophetic praise and Pastor Daniel Yao Entry releasing divine instruction for your new year. Venue for both events is the Junction Mall, Nungwa Barrier. 2 nights, 30th and 31st December. One encounter with God. Faith Life Church, step into 20.
Yeah. Right, so welcome back from the break. You're watching Good Afternoon Ghana here on Metro TV. My name is Desmond Okrekudas. We're live on Facebook, Metro TV Ghana. You can join us live on there. Also on 94.1 FM and on Multi TV and DSTV channel 277. We're going to begin our conversation this afternoon from something amazing that for us here at Ignite Media took place on the 25th of December. That was a Christmas Day. We did something good, and I'm not going to talk about it. I'm going to keep it and leave those in charge. Michael Edujamna is event coordinator here at Ignite Media, and also Akosua AJ is CSR manager, also here at Ignite Media. And of course, when we talk about Ignite Media, I know it's Metro TV, Original TV, and Original 91.9 FM. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the program. Good afternoon. Merry Christmas to you.
Good afternoon. Merry Christmas to you too.
Michael, how are you celebrating the Christmas?
Well, it's been easy, simple, you know. Yeah. We've been working actually, so okay. I haven't really had time to celebrate or enjoy.
You've not been okay. Yeah. And Akusia?
It's been fun.
It's been fun.
Very fun.
Right. So in this case, we're talking about Metro Care.
Yeah.
And just give us a brief of what Metro Care really is about before we get into the actual event that took place?
Okay, Metro Care, when it comes to Ignite Media, we have the CSR department.
Right.
Under the CSR department is the Metro Care. The Metro Care is a vehicle that drives all our CSR activities,
Right.
and it's not for only Metro TV,
Okay.
it's for all the subsidiaries. And our mode of operation is when we find a need and also when we get requests. So most of our activities are based on what people bring to us, and also when we step out and we see something that we feel we can step in. And it also falls in line with what we do. We step in to give support to those things.
Right. So this time for the Christmas season, you had the Santa tour.
Yes.
Right, Michael.
Yeah.
How easy is it to organize something like this? You're an events person trying to look for a place where you can go support and put smiles on their faces.
Yeah. So this year hasn't been the first one. Last year we did, but last year we were in Accra.
Okay.
The only difference was that this year we went to Suhum Government Hospital. So we adopted Suhum Government Hospital and decided to do what we do best. That's put smiles on the faces of mothers and also newborn babies. So it was easy because planning this, we had support from Nkulenu and also Equator Foods, who gave us items to give away, and also Let's Love Lead also supported us. So when we got the items and then we got approval from the hospital to come, it was just getting things ready and then also getting approval and then moving to the station. Yeah.
No, the other nice thing is that you had Santa Claus.
Yeah.
For that Christmas.
Yeah.
Santa Destiny.
So Let's Love Lead. They were our partners on this. Talk to us about that also.
Okay, so we've worked with them for, I think, 3 consecutive times.
Okay.
And this time what we did was that we have the Metro Care team. We had a series of meetings, a series of engagements, and we realized that Accra has been overrated. I mean, during Christmas, a lot of support
goes to a lot of places in Accra.
To Accra. So the team agreed that why don't we look at outside Accra? So our first stop was in Sawem Government Hospital. We went there to do Recce. We went to another hospital out in the Eastern region to do Recce. But we settled on Suhum Government Hospital because of what our focus is. We want to enrich the life of people, and we realize that the mothers, the people in Suhum, we had the population of deprived people in Suhum Hospital was massive. So I think we felt the impact would be felt there as compared to all the hospitals that we did our Recce. And we plan adopting Suhum Government Hospital. In fact, some of the mothers, sometimes after they've been treated, after they've given birth and everything, and they have to go home, they are not able to offset their medical bills. So you find them there. And I mean, Christmas, some of them were there. And I mean, when it comes to you and I, when it's Christmas, up till now, I go home to spend Christmas with my family. And some of them, they don't even have that privilege. So we felt if we go to Suhum Government Hospital, our impact will be felt more than some of the hospitals in Accra.
Okay. Yeah. So that's why you chose Suhum Government Hospital to be there. And when I say we, I wanted to take that, but when we got there, we, talking to some of the mothers, they see some really young girls who have given birth, and as we were told also that some pregnant women who came in cannot pay for blood or get this, and so they are there. It's very worrying. And the little that we can do is to just put a smile on their faces. So what items did we give them?
So in the park there was a diaper. We had diapers. We had baby clothes.
Yes.
Yes, we had biscuits. We had products from Nkulenu. And then a lot more drinks. There were water.
And then we have H&H.
Yes, their products also. Yes.
So just to make the Christmas.
In fact, one of the young ladies, I asked her whether the delivery process was painful. She said yes. And I asked whether she would give birth again. She said no.
Oh.
And I said, okay, we have a Christmas gift for you. We gave the Christmas gift to her, and she said, oh, next year I'll calculate and make sure.
She's seen the
when the tea gets back. But I said you won't give birth again. But for the gift.
Just being in the hearing the sounds of women in labor, and all of that, and the baby, seeing them, we call them Bronya babies. So it was beautiful.
And you could see the excitement in their faces when we presented the gifts to them. They really appreciated it.
And Michael, I enjoyed Santa Desi.
Oh, he doesn't want us to disclose he was Santa.
At the point when the small girl was singing for me.
That was the highlight for me.
I enjoyed it.
Santa, they said there's a difference between Santa Claus and Father Christmas.
Which one were you?
I like Santa. Right, so it was very nice seeing the smiles on their faces. And for me, it hits me later that's what the season is about. It's spreading love and showing love, and that's what Metro Care did on Christmas Day, and then we continue to. I remember the town so much. Option number 2 in the Swing municipality. We saw the area. In fact, I'm putting together a story about the educational challenges in that particular community, and I'll be doing that very, very soon. So it's been a beautiful one. Next year, do we have any plans?
Yes. We actually have initiatives in the area of health education, human capital impact, social impact, community development. So next year, we will do it big. If we are lucky to get maybe incubators for even the hospitals, that will be our focus. And we are also looking at maybe ahead of the December event, maybe we can do cleanup for them before, and then maybe do some paintings before we go and share the gifts.
Right. So this is just a call to everybody who can come on board. Big shout out to Let's Love Lead. So every organization, anybody who wants to partner with us, you can definitely come to our offices and see Madam Akosua and Michael to do that. Michael, so we've wrapped up the year with all of our events. Next year, I understand there's a super lineup of activities, events that will be handling.
I'll come and share it.
Okay. But you should know that the Jollof Festival, there's going to be a part 2 of that. Hopefully, you see that. Right. So, Akosua and Michael, thank you very much for coming. Akosua is the CSR manager here at Ignite Media, and Michael Edu Dramina is events coordinator here. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Wish you a happy New Year in advance, 2026.
Merry Christmas.
We pray for beautiful and more beautiful things to happen. Right. Okay, so that's with the Santa Tour by Metro Care and Let's Love Lead. We are just going to take that recap quickly, and then Shadrach Odamie-Ajayi, who is our presidential correspondent, will be joining me on the table, and Jeffrey Okanse will also be joining me as we take a look back at this year, how some things have fared in governance. We'll talk about that. And later we'll open the phone line so you can also call in and share your thoughts with us on the show. So let's recap what happened at the Suhum Government Hospital with Metro Care.
Christmas. Meet me at the Suhum Government Hospital. Let me give you something amazing for the season.
I don't want a lot for Christmas. There is just one thing I need. I don't care about the presents underneath the Christmas tree. I just want you for my own, more than you could ever know. Make my wish come true. I want
Okay, so right, Mr. Kansei is on my neck that we did the Jollof Festival without inviting him. So we'll get to 2026. There you can go. Now we'll get into some other issues about this particular government, 2025, how it has fared. But let me tell you that a new national that is tracking poll by Global Info Analytics has revealed that a majority of Ghanaians feel their standard of living has improved over the past year, reflecting optimism amid the rollout of the 2026 national budget. Now, the survey released on Monday, that's today, December 29, shows that 56% of respondents said their standards of living have improved compared with a year ago, while 27% said it remained unchanged. Only 12% reported a decline, and 8% or 5% had no opinion. And looking ahead, 70% of voters expressed confidence that their standard of living will further improve in 2026, with just 16% expressing pessimism on the 2026 budget presented by the Finance Minister, Dr. Kesio Ato-Forson. That is 68% indicated satisfaction, and 18% were dissatisfied, and 16% were neutral. The poll also highlighted public perceptions on governance, and about 56% of respondents believe corruption in the country has improved, the fight against corruption that will be, and felt that the government is doing enough to fight it. And regarding the fight against illegal mining, commonly known as Galamsey, 47% said the menace has not worsened under the Mahama administration, including 43% in mining regions. Right, so that's the latest coming in from Global Info Analytics, and we're going to get in studio here and speak to my guests who have joined me here, and my colleague and presidential correspondent, that is Shadrach Adami Ejare, is here with me. Shadrach, welcome to the program. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Santa. Or Father Christmas.
Can you leave? Can you leave that?
I was just wondering. I was telling Sandra back there. I don't know whether he came back from Turkey not long ago, because I was still confused whether they were saggy boobs or they were your tummy. Can you please help us? I don't know where that will make you fall, whether between Santa and Father Christmas. You're not saying anything.
I have nothing to tell you, Shadrach, but welcome. How's your Christmas?
Thank you. It's been okay. For me, it's been quite hectic, because apart from work, I just found myself in the Jollof Festival, and subsequently, for those who were not able to come, especially those that are close, I have to continuously be cooking jollof and serving, and then coupled with like some baking and work. So it's been a bit enjoyable, but it's quite hectic.
Okay.
I have red velvet and chocolate.
You know, as you're sitting here, I'm going to ignore all of that, and I will take that later. but you've had a very good time at the presidency.
Good is relative.
Moving up out and about with the team, and we'll talk about that. But we have the Executive Director of the Revenue Mobilization Africa, Jeffrey Okanse, here also, and he's been fighting me about the jollof. Merry Christmas to you, Mr. Okanse. How are you doing?
I pray you keep that side of it, of a Merry Christmas in me. Okay. When indeed you were jollofing and you did not remember that I existed, I will just look at the birth of Christ and forgive you on that note.
Thank you very much.
But I have not forgotten. I forgive, I don't forget,
right.
Usually.
So
I'll first of all wish all Ghanaians a Merry Christmas. Much respect to the owner of Metro TV, who are the board governors as well. Right. I salute them. The workers, I also bow to all of you, to your service. You are doing a human service, and it serves God's interest. After saluting you, I'll go outside and salute all your viewers.
Right.
And then also for your loyal ones, actually, as well. I think it's a moment that we need to thank God for a smooth running system. On the overall, I would say that I can enjoy some smoothness. I mean, the country is quiet. I mean, the complaints are there in some minimal tone, and then the praises are good for what we are seeing. The macro indicators only come when I engage with you and we are dealing with figures here.
Right.
But the micro ones are those who are in the markets and buying the oil at certain prices. I go to the fuel booth and I stop my vehicle and I know that the fuel price has not gotten to anywhere 13.
Okay.
I've marked it. And you see, people are comparing in confusion. I'm not confused.
But we'll get into that conversation in a bit.
So those are the things that are like soothing my soul.
Right.
That are macro and micro, and I'm looking at, look, hey, I'm fine. It's been good.
Well, as we have started from there, I'll get to Shadrach also because, as I mentioned, he's been moving the president across the country, even outside the country, on a number of things. And just to get an insight into what happens on those trips, how Ghanaians react to the president and all of that. Shadrach, share with us the experience for those of us who've not been on the presidential press call.
So it's been a very engaging and tough one. I mean, whoever tells you it's easy, lied. Because moving from one point to the other, I mean, both on local assignment and international assignment, meeting deadlines, and sometimes from the back you watch the president and you are wondering where he's getting his strength from, because sometimes swollen eyes, we do night to night, and sometimes the road trips. So all summing that up, it's been quite hectic, but it's for God and country. However, someone says show must go on, the work must be done. So moving from health to national security to economic event to education, women and children protection, everything included. I think it's been a great year. It may not be 100%. I mean, from where I sit, judging straight may be wrong on my part. However, since we are also stakeholders, you are able to do an assessment of what has happened so far in the year 2025. And for me, as a journalist, as someone who is also with the people on a daily basis, I think so far so good. We are just hoping that it gets better than we have seen in the year 2025, I mean in all sectors.
How is President Mahama like?
How is he like?
Yeah, in terms of his relation with yourself, in terms of relation with Kenyans when he travels and people are waving at him or meeting people, all of those things, because we want to look at the persona of President Mahama, and that also extends to his appointees and those he's put in charge. Last week, Elikem Kotoko was here and was saying that the president may be the nicest you see him on social media, but when it comes to the work being done, he's hard on them.
Well, I think for me, working in this past month with the president, I think he never lets go of his father instinct or figure. However, it is on that basis that he is also able to, on a normal day in our homes, we would say, a child is lashed, and then it's the same hand that is used to draw the person closer. You know, he has said that he's not going for a third term, and he would have to leave a legacy before he steps out. And now he also says he understands that things must be done differently. Not the everyday politicians come in and go. You must make an impact. So, I mean, for his persona, I feel, stand to be corrected in a way, he is one of the nicest persons you can ever come across, because in as much as he's working super busy, having all the security elements around him, he's quick to come out and say, hey, Charlie, hey, he's the everyday friend you want to speak to. Sometimes you may not even want to go, but he would still come and say, I've been seeing you with this lady. Are you aware she's my daughter? I've been seeing you with this guy.
Is that what he said to you?
Well, that was what he said to me once. But wait, where did that come from?
You know, thank you.
So,
just.
But President Mahama is one awesome person to work with. Great communicator. Every time he has something you would laugh about, and I think he lightens up the moment and then keeps you easy. So it's been a good one working with him as a person.
Right, and I'll come back to you, but let me get to Jeffrey and begin with security. think that, of course, for any country to develop, security is very important. And we saw the IGP that the president named Christian Tete came in. And what would you say of our security space, not just with the Ghana Police Service, with all the security agencies? This year, again, we've had some security officers who have been murdered. We've had clashes between the military and the police in certain areas. We've also seen quite some raids. In fact, for this Christmas period, there's been a lot of raids going on between all the security agencies. There have been cases, armed robbery, there have been arrests. You see the updates on the Ghana Police Service social media platform. For you, how would you rate our security so far in 2025?
Well, if I had the chance to rate, I'll just talk about 75%, because the general outlook for scoring, to look at, let's say, security per person, I mean, when you're doing the population against the availability of security, I mean, we are not up there. I mean, so yeah, we're squeezing to use a few security persons and apparatus to manage a large population. So we're doing well. But there's been spots of violence, like you mentioned. And as we sit here, I don't think Boko is calm. We've seen videos of persons pelting stones at security operators when they went to the Galamsey areas. Yeah. Sorry, forgive me. So, yes, there's been relative and significant stability as a country. We've had continuous stability, and I think we'd also look at it's been very good. But when you look at the spots, they are avoidable. Some are very avoidable.
We've seen some in Sampa, we've seen some in Asamankese, some in the Volta region. A few days ago, actually, at a mosque in the Volta region, some persons were attacked.
About the imam issue.
Yes, and all of these things. And I talk about the police because we get to see them every day. Yeah. They are
in charge of internal security.
They are with us always, and the police is your friend.
Right.
Again, what do you make of the fact that it has been decentralized in terms of information? Right. I think for me that's a very key one, because earlier we had seen that every information was coming from the central. That's from the headquarters here. Yes, the command. Now you have it opened up. All the PROs across all the several commands in the country do put out their information, do share whatever is happening in those areas and all that. I think that's a very important thing
it's
to talk
excellent.
About. Yeah.
It's excellent. I hope it happens with the ministries as well, because usually you see the ministers and the top ones talking all the time. I think they should allow the PROs and then the various departments to be talking as well. I think for the police service, they've done very well. I think their presence is key, the visibility. I mean, you remember when it started with under the IG, Paul Quay, I think it's continued and it's done a lot of good for the country. The police presence is one of the way of curbing, miscreants from misbehaving. So I think it's also important to also note that with all these spots of violence, on the general overall, the reactive nature, I mean, when it happens, there is security to beef up and go up there and respond to it. But you and I would agree that we would be pleading to see a more proactive way of, once we have national security, we have the National Investigative Bureau and the Signals Bureau, we pray that they'll be tooled and equipped more for them to enhance their work. I'm sure they are doing their work, and that's why sometimes you've not heard in other parts. I'm sure there were potentials of having them happen in other parts.
Right.
But then with reactive measures, you are able to keep those ones. So that one we won't see and hear about. So we need to take into consideration those ones as well, and then give them the plus for that one. But these sports ones that you have expressed, they are very, very key. We need to pay attention to them and nip those ones in the bud. We should also look at the food and water security. This Galamsey issue alone posed food and water security. I mean, these are drinking points where the water company was actually relying on these points for them to get water to treat and then transfer to citizens. And that was where the pollution happened. They were using cyanide and mercury in those waters, and that means also another cost to the state. So yes, security became a problem with even our food. There were food items that they detected some chemicals in them because they were actually along the riverbanks, or water from the river was used to water these plants. So indeed, food and water security has been threatened by the Galamsey operations as well. So for security, our rate is about 75%.
The other thing also is about how all the security agencies kind of work together, because in the eyes of the public, when you have the Ghana some officials of the Ghana Police Service, the military, and you have immigration fighting, getting into scaffolds, you know, it puts the security in a bad light. And for me, it's one of the things that we really need to work on as a country. Richard Kumado is on. Let's talk to him. Mr. Kumado, Merry Christmas. You're welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Right, we're talking about security for 2025 under this particular government. What will be your ratings?
Now, if I'm rating them, and you look at the combined efforts of all the security agencies, of course, the police are the first respondents when it comes to maintaining law and order. If you look at what they have done across the country in the maintenance of law and order, I'm likely to give them 7 over 10. 7 over 10? Yep.
Right. What are some of the positives, really?
Okay, so basically, when you are talking about security management at a national level,
right,
and a country like Ghana, within 1 year perspective, maintaining law and order is key. So you are talking about dealing with crimes, crime prevention, crime investigation, crime prosecution. Then you are looking at maintaining national sovereignty, security intelligence, which borders on many of the decisions government will be taking. Then you are looking at national security, how effective is your military in curtailing many of these things. So we say security management is a continuous process. If you look at February or you look at January when the new president was sworn in, heads were appointed or selected to where we are today, and you look at the combined efforts of all of them, immigration, cybersecurity authority, the police, the BNI, the military, and fire service, and thinking about the prison, I think they've done a yeoman's job. Even though there might be 1 or 2 issues, we can look at it and look at what happened.
Right, and that was what I was getting to. Earlier this year, we had seen a number of events where we've seen the officials of the Ghana Police, the military clashing and all of that. Really,
where did it happen?
Earlier this year, we saw some in the northern part of the country at the border post where there were some, you know, agitations amongst those two officials of the military and the police, and I'm asking that when things like this happen.
Oh yeah, we are talking about Boko, right?
Yes.
Is it Boko or Paga?
It should be Paga. Where?
No, if it is Paga, then you are talking about last year. This year, what happened was at Boko.
Okay.
Where because of the maintenance of law and order at Boko, there were issues between the police and the police and the military.
It was Paga,
and that was when Raymond was called back to head office.
Right.
Yes, so that was exactly what happened. But that is an isolated case, and that has nothing to do with maintaining law and order. When it comes to maintaining law and order, it has nothing to do with whether soldiers crash with police or immigration with this, irrespective of whatever they do. Those might be operational issues within specific
but in the eyes of the people, when the people see that things like this are happening.
So if we are talking about maintaining law and order, it's different from when you are talking about interagency collaborations and cooperations. Those are two different things.
Well, I still believe that in the eyes of the people, when they see that these are the people who are supposed to be protecting us.
What is the people assessing the police on? What are they assessing the immigration on?
Right.
What are they assessing the BNI on? Are they assessing them because they fight among themselves, or they are assessing them because of maintaining law and order? Priority is maintaining law and order. Essential is how they interrelate with one another. Then you have what is important, how the sovereignty has been maintained. So there are peculiar issues you can look at. But then again, when you look at that particular incident and you bring it down to where we ended the year, where you saw Operation Show Force, then the one they did just before we broke into Christmas.
Right.
You saw the interagency, and you saw the high morale, and you saw what happened. What we were referring to was as an overflow of the previous administration. So when we were changing over, some of those things happened. But once you have tax people at the BNI, you never had BNI officers fighting with anybody. You have CDS, then you have Yohonu, then you have Basitelli. So normally what I say to people is that if you want to get the peculiar performance of what law enforcement officers have done in terms of collaborations and interagency, look at the dominant force. And the dominant force is that they were determined in maintaining law and order. So that is what we judge them on.
This year also, we have seen a lot of things happening at traditional festivals and celebrations, and quite a number of people died. You can mention close to 10 or so across the country at some of these festivals or celebrations. Now, the Interior Ministry put out a statement, and then they asked that these things be stopped. I mean, looking at that, do you think that it has been...
Are you talking about the traditional festival?
Yes, the traditional, in terms of the use of the arms in those celebrations. Do you think that the ministry has managed that also well in terms of making sure that there's security at these places?
No, the technical advisor to Minister of Interior is the police predominantly.
Right.
When you look at issues of arms, there are 4 to 5 categories of it. There are people in this country whose predominant legitimate business is to import arms into this country to sell. We will need to look at it as a nation to enhance the due diligence aspect of the procedure we use.
Okay.
Then you also have the local manufacturers, which we will need some level of structured monitoring to ensure that guns do not fall in the hands of illegitimate people. Then you also have categories of people who have arms, who have renewed their licenses, others have not registered their arms at all. Then you also have illegal arms smugglers who smuggle arms into our country. So these are the 4 categories. When it comes to the traditional authority, they have these armories and they have persons to shoot these guns. And the guns are moving from locally manufactured to sophistication. And I believe it's in line with that the Minister of Interior brought caveat of Fiat, knowing very well that he wants to set up an amnesty for people to willingly hand over their arms. So that is where we are. As a tradition and as a nation, how do we blend? I have been to many of these festivals on a national assignment where those who shoot the guns have been accredited, there has been public education, and there have been awareness. And at all those places I have been, I don't know where others have been, but where I have been, because of the role the police play in accrediting these people and giving them the guidance into what to do, what not to do, we did not register some of those guns. So I'm thinking they might want to take it forward across the whole country.
Right. So what are some of the areas in terms of our security as a nation that we need improvement?
For me, I would be happy to see a 21st century crime scene and forensic examination center built at the CID block. I will also be happy to see a 21st century cybersecurity and cyber assessment center built within the BNI. I will be happy to see, I led the crusade. Today, the president has held a crusade and he said the military should have the bill passed at parliament so that the military can have their university. Then we are also having a university for Signal Bureau. Signal Bureau used to be part of the BNI when I was working on the BNI. Today, the president is setting up a university for them at home. When you go to the southern part of Africa, the police have their own university. So the next crusade I am on is for the police to have their own university. For the BNI should also have their university. And these are the things I push as much as I can with the president. One of the things that has also happened is that for the first time, the president did not appoint an IGP and appoint a CID boss. This year, the IGP was given the free hand to select who becomes the CID boss, and the president acclaimed to that. That particular thing is one of the crusades we led for the past 10 years, and thankfully, we had it this time around. So we are building up. We are a nation in transit. Let us all add our voice, and once we engage in positive advocacy, I believe that decision makers and policy makers will hear us one day.
Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Richard Kumado is a fraud and security expert speaking to us there. And on the state of our security. So share with us what your thoughts are. We'll put the number on the screen a bit. Via message later, we could open the phone line so you can share with us. Shadrach and Richard, sorry, I beg your pardon. Jeffrey can say in here in the studio. So Shadrach, for you, following the president and looking at some of the situation in terms of our security, what have you seen that you could share with us?
So I think this year there's been a couple of launch or opening of offices when it comes to the National Security Bureau. So we saw the launch of the Eastern Regional Office in Koforidua, and then also the one in Ho.
Okay.
And then we've also seen allocation of funds and retooling of the Ghana Police Service and also the Ghana Armed Forces. And all this is in a bid, according to the president, to boost the country's security or boost Ghana's security, and also encourage this personnel to do their very best when it comes to internal security and then protecting our borders. So I know usually when these issues come up, there are pockets of conversations or bits and pieces where people want to share certain concerns on what the security status is from their end. I think personally where I sometimes have issues is where people tend to clad themselves in any attire and want to identify themselves as national security operatives, and in that light tend to assault people, and their identities are unable, authorities are unable to verify their identity. But that aside, I think when it comes to investing in our national security apparatus, we have seen quite a number of interventions that will go a long way to help us.
So, Jeffrey, Richard Kumado says 75%. That's just close to yours.
Yeah, no, he's looking at 70 because he said 7 out of 10.
Okay.
But I was like 75.
Oh, you said 7, and he said 7 out. Well,
exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we were hovering around the same area. Again, I think you are so right when you mentioned that you were worried about the spots of violence. We still have to keep that to that one. And I think it's worrying to see security agencies that are expected to intercollaborate, you know, because one is picking signals, the other is picking some signals from the borders, others very in the heart of the city capitals. So, I mean, they're supposed to be actually working together. You know, and then I think these little tensions, sometimes, you know, they are not only systemic, individuals are the ones working, so their individual faults will always shoot up. But I think, like I said, when they happen, the next moment you hear some explanations giving and then the corrections. You know, and I think that's where you also have to clap for yourselves, the media, you capture them and then you throw it out there, and then we get the authorities responding to it. It's a good thing for
just a quick one on Boko. I mean, because it's a very big one. We've seen the reports presented to the president. The presidency has backed it. We've seen some statements saying it's been, one section says they've rejected it and all of that. But really, your general thoughts about how the situation in Boko has been handled?
Boko has a three-phase. Boko is yesterday, today, and tomorrow. From yesterday, there's history around it. And there's deep history, as saying, we know there are two tribes. One tribe was there, owned the place. Another tribe settled in with them. They were living happily. The minority that came on decided to be very, you know, very cool with the colonial masters. There's a history around it. All this was yesterday. Today, there's been an eminent chief who has been called together with the chiefs in question. There's been a discussion. And then there was the way forward. The way forward was started by, I mean, let's also give the previous administration some credits for starting the process. This government did not change anything. They also continued it. We, the citizens, I mean, the media, yourself, I mean, we, the CSOs, we've also seen now it's all followed through. I think tomorrow is that decisions were taken after a court ruling. You were here when we had the election disputes in 2013. and then the other one in 2020, after the 2020 election, so in 2021, I think there were rulings. Everybody will have their opinion, but what was agreed at the table and documented must be followed through. Right. And when you are applying that one, you get some skirmishes, but then again, it falls onto the security to maintain law and order. It doesn't mean it's cast in stone. If there's any other way that security experts and other persons affected can still do some, the National Peace Council and other agencies are in place, National House of Chiefs, they can all come in and then, give this issue a good bathing. But then what's on the paper would have to still be implemented for the way forward. Right. So security is, according to our guest, has improved. So 75% and 7/10. Those are the ratings. Let's talk about the economy, because it's a very important one that a lot of people have said that is going well. Even the poll or the survey from the Global Info Analytics says that many believe that their lives have improved so far compared to a year ago. Jeffrey, can say, is your life better now than a year ago? Better. It's been better? Much better. Okay. Extremely better. Why? You indulge me. I was buying fuel at about 15 Ghana cedis. And I was telling you about my calculations. Mm-hmm. I look at trends. People telling me it is moving from 10 to 11 and moving up. I'm not bothered. I get angry. I don't want to listen to anybody. I'm so focused. I want to go back. Let me show you how to do the real trends. In just the immediate past, what was happening was that, look at 2020, for example, 2022 to 2024. There was no decline. It was either, we were either discussing just a little addition or more addition. That's what we were doing. At some point, it got to, let's say, a little increase or a galloping situation. So that's what we're talking about. So if you were going by that, that means at that 16 something that we left, would have been around 20 by now. If we're going by, by projections of yesterday. Mm. In economics, I keep telling people, you don't need to have a PhD in economics. You need to feel it to know it. So that is where I look at it from. And then when you come to the issues of, let's say, for example, the governance area, as saying reducing of the size of government, expenditure, you have to cut your expenditure to survive. That is where we kept saying, cut the size of government and save some money. We've seen the cut of government. We've seen also the reduction in budgetary allocation to the celebration of Indies Day, Independence Day. You remember how they cut the budget? And I was expecting to see figures actually to follow it up so that we can get better clarity. But at least, they gave us some round-up figures about how much they saved from that one. And then you also look at the fact that they said we're not purchasing new cars. They were reducing travels. All these initiatives is what we talk about cutting expenditure. Okay. Corruption does a lot of bad to our economy. When you look at it's your money. Corruption is not magic. It is your money. Do you get it? If you were running a business and people were stealing for you, it is your money. That is your money that is going. So do you think that it is the policy or the policies that have been put in place, it is how the situation has been managed, that is what has made... The policies have always been there, my brother. The policies. They've always been there. So it's about the management. It was the management. What you heard at ECG, that their inflows increased. Did you change any? Did you add somebody to come and a new person to come and take over? No, it was the policies were there, but people the new managers and top men brought something new. Okay, your gold system. You are doing PMC, right? You brought gold board, and under the new face of it, you changed something, and that's what working. So indeed, for me, I tell people, I'm careful with praising the system and wholeheartedly, but you can mark one to the next things that are being done that is saving you money. And they are basic to understand that all over the world, being it an individual, a company, or a nation, all you have to do when you find yourself, where we found ourselves, in those trenches, high indebtedness, in those trenches of high corruption, take bold decisions, cut down corruption, also meant that, look, surcharging people. And this government has told you that they would make sure, the minister told us in the budget reading that if it's found that your department or your agency, there's X amount of corruption, he's going to surcharge you. That was what Mr. Domlevo tried doing, and he was hacked out.
You were a tax person also,
right.
So I'll get to that. But Shadrach, following the president once again for some of these initiatives that a lot has changed in terms of the city compared to the international currencies, the price of fuel going down, and all of these indicators. What has been done at the presidency, and in there, what do you see the president and his appointees, trying to do to make sure that our economy is stable?
So I think from the onset, when the conversation of the 24-hour economy thing started, it sounded, do I say funny? It sounded unrealistic, and people have had their doubts. Even though it hasn't started on a larger scale, when you at the Jubilee House and in most of the meetings, there is always the touting of government agencies and other stakeholders working or doing their best throughout the 24 hours, such that it is going to make, even if not a full impact, 100% impact, and you are able to make a 1% impact, it changes something. So we have seen impact in like our energy sector when it comes to distribution, when how they even get their ROIs, looking at government agencies that had monies on their laps and the government could not access for work. We've also seen, like Jeffrey mentioned, some of the blocking of loopholes in the extractive sector. And those are some of the reasons why you saw agencies, or we see agencies like the Gold Board and other agencies trying to do their best, such that we wouldn't have people carrying our gold through the corners. If our gold is supposed to leave, then we have to see value for money, or the amount of gold that has left. We would have to see what the corresponding figures and how much of impact they are making on the ordinary Ghanaian. And we also saw interventions where mining companies were asked to make something significant in their area. So let's say this is gold firm is in Ridge. Once you are mining, the student in their school building should be your business. Maybe potable water here, which is lacking, should be your business. Maybe some town roads, at least you should also make an impact. It's not just about extracting. So all those things coming into play. I think even from our first quarter, from January to March, we saw a GDP growth of 5.3, and people applauded government because most of the policies, including the cancellation of several taxes and levies, it lessened the burden on the ordinary Ghanaian's pocket. And again, back to what Jeffrey was saying, sometimes we want to look at just the macro, but in instances where it affects the ordinary Ghanaian's pocket, how do we measure that? And that is the core of the economy, or striving for good, a better economy. That I'll go to the market and I'll still get maybe 6 tubers or 10 tubers of yam for 100 cedis, rather than buying maybe just 2 for 100 cedis. That is how the ordinary Ghanaian has nothing to do with what macro or microeconomic. They don't even understand what the GDP is. They don't understand all those technicalities. What they know is me to money 5 cedis and then money 1 cedi. And I think all these have come to affect the lives of these ordinary Ghanaians, even with farmers and farm produce. That was how at a point we were seeing some egg glut, where farmers were calling for people to come in for their eggs and then sometimes live birds. So I think all these are stemming from the policies and reforms from the president, and by extension agencies that surround the president.
Right. So Jeffrey, looking at what has happened and getting into 2026, you're confident. I mean, just as the survey from Global Info says that 70% of those who are surveyed express confidence that their standard of living will improve in 2026. You believe the way we're going and the way things are now, inflation has dropped to single digits, the city is hovering around 11 cities, fuel prices have dropped and all that. You believe 2026, listening to what the finance minister read out in Parliament, things are going to be better?
If they go strictly by what they presented on document, things will get better, just like they've done with the things that they pledged in their manifesto, like cutting the size of government and a few things that I've mentioned, the gold board and the rest of things. After promising all those things and then implementing them, I think they have seen, and we have also seen and felt what the outcomes have been. If they stick to the document they presented to us, that came out of the Georgia, you remember the economic conference?
Yes.
Yes, so these are the things that help them. The healthy side of governance is participatory enough to make it more participatory is key. If you remember the education conference, you've seen the outcomes from it. Right. So if you engage the people and you don't do, I know my thing, I'm doing it, I have the power, and you engage, you've seen the withdrawal of the lithium deal.
Yes.
You remember?
Yes,
you remember the ESLA?
After all the other noise that was done about it.
You remember the ESLA, the 1 Ghana cedis?
Right.
It was withdrawn. That's the mantra where we say a listening government. But I would say the participatory nature of governance. If you make it participatory, the people, even though they feel that, have you heard Ghanaians complain about the 1 Ghana cedi again? Because they are seeing that you've added the 1 Ghana cedi, and then they are seeing that their lights are still on. So soon we've forgotten. I think one of our leaders said that Ghanaians have short memories. We forgot it so soon that we nearly went into a blackout, but we are not there. So on this map, I think the industrialization drives that he spoke about.
So the 24-hour economy.
Yes, investing in the 24-hour economy and then the agri sector especially, when they said they are going to establish some factories. I am hoping and praying that they are going to be deeply connecting it to skills, training, and then also going to connect it to our raw materials and then connect it to what we will call industries that will work for us. Indeed, worrying, as a fellow of Africa Education Watch, worrying enough is the fact that we only have about 10% for TVET education, 10%. And we're doing the other courses. It's okay, it's good. But I wish, gifted with all these raw materials, would have had about 30% of our secondary education going for TVET and then continue with the polytechnic system in its full scale. So that at the end of the day, we'll have skilled workers to come and connect those skills to the industry and our raw materials. Again, let's go to extractives. I actually stayed aback in a meeting when they were discussing the royalties. Look, the first mining contract was signed about 200 years ago. We were at that table as Ghanaians. In fact, we as the black people of this country, we sat at that table thinking about royalties. Many years on, we are still at the table thinking about royalties. It is not what I want. I am thinking we should amass our wealth and our plans together and get some financial plan, like a mineral development plan reviewed that will see participation from local sources. You heard about the Azuma deal,
right,
where a Ghanaian company is taking over. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear a Ghana lithium company where we all put our coins there and make sure we generate the needed revenue. Anytime they talk about foreign direct investment, I cringe. Every day we are relying on FDI. Can't we start with the lithium deal? They'll tell you that it's just 12 years. But you know what we can do locally with it? We should also think about generating the finances and adding value to the lithium and producing at least solar panel batteries, so that all our hospitals will be running on solar panel and the batteries generated from Ghana, from our lithium deal. At the end of the day, to cut a lot of cost away. All hospitals, all schools, at least all police stations can be running on these solar generated plants. And then we can sell the rest that we can sell off. And then when you go to the next one I'll talk about is the exemptions regime. I've not heard about the abuse of the exemptions regimes under this government. And I would pray that they keep to the rework documents that we have done and then follow through successfully. The improved taxation is also going to help. This modified taxation, you know, about roughly between 70 to 80% of the persons supposed to be paying taxes are in the informal sector. How do you reach out and collect from them? And that's what brought about this, the accelerated tax education and then the modified taxation that the GRA has done. While at it, I'm telling them there are other corners they need to look at, like the construction industry. There are a lot of opportunities there. People, the craftsmen, the artisans, some of them are not even Ghanaians. And you need to register all these people and take your money from them. I'm not talking, you see them, they are carpenters, with all due respect. Carpenters, masons, they are out there. Look, when he roofs one building, he takes about 40,000 to 60,000 cedis or more. And when they do about 3 contracts at a time within the same period, they are making money than some of the former people who are sitting in offices. So we need to accelerate our efforts at that and then make sure that we are doing this one for the money and then get it for the country. The last killer is corruption. The killer himself, the killer. Corruption.
Have we fought it? Have we been able to make some progress in fighting it?
We've made progress, but I expect more. When we had the oral discussion, look, this election had a lot to do with corruption. Either the ones that people saw and had facts on, or the perception one. They were perceived that blah, blah, blah. No, but there's evidence at certain places that people increased figures, people took monies. Look, to start with, the National Cathedral. How much? $90-something million. Palugu Dam, $11 million. Money gone, nothing to show. SkyTrain. And the people are alive. But I have a quick caution and a respectful submission to the president. I will plead with him. It will be very painful to myself, son of a poor Banku seller, to hear that the persons who did us evil and did us bad, in fact, I don't use misappropriation and misapplication, and stole our money, will be given their ex gratia. In addition, I'm repeating in all humility, the persons that have been listed with the corruption issues, if we go back and see that they've been given their end of service benefits, that will be insulting enough to some of us.
Okay. Let me announce the phone line so that our viewers can call. You can call in 0245-834-960. Give us a call. The question is that has your standard of living improved? Looking at the survey from that is Global Info Analytics. Want to hear from you. Which sector do you think the government has done well with, and also the one that you believe needs more work on? Of course, we talk about illegal mining. What Shadrach has gone around with the president and visited a number of these sites. Shadrach, coming back to you. So he's talking about everything. I'm asking you, has your life improved? Has your standard of living improved?
I was praying you forget that. But anyway, I am talking of improvement. Well, for Jeffrey spoke about buying fuel.
Okay, we've got a caller on the phone. Let me get to that. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to Good Afternoon Ghana.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Right, what's your name and where you're calling us from?
My name is Musa and I'm calling from Garu.
From Garu?
Yes.
Oh, right. Right. So talk to us. Your assessment of 2025 for this particular government, has your standard of living improved?
Yeah, it has improved really, but in the agriculture sector, we the farmers, it seems we are not benefiting anything from the government because ranging from fertilizer, insecticide to spray all these things, the prices are still high. But at the end of the cultivation, you go and sell and your money will be small. So I think the government should do something about those things to improve the farmers' life. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you very much for your call. Very, very important one there. I know that earlier this year, cereal farmers did a protest in Tamale, and same in Accra, we saw the glut, onion, egg, all of that, and so it's one sector that needs a lot of attention. The sector minister is also doing well, Eric Opoku. But we've got another caller on there. Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Right, can you kindly speak up so we can hear you?
Say good afternoon.
Right, your name and where you're calling us from?
From Isaac from Kumasi. The more cow still cleaning a right say more, but dollar no form. Nasi ni pano unitika or the quacoto adena. The more can you na inquisition abino contractors enye adwuma omo a wote any contract men wo kwabri East District minhu say any road ba kokura anase school dan ana any ade bia ye de ekoso na wo contract bi wo area ha all town rules nkitenkite since October ebe pin sa abri contract and you wo kwabri ha se bi na minua yes adwuma ni bi onye adwuma na bede na buru nya wenya $1 na akwakoto ade wa abonjene said you make an what yes here entinya say ebia anwa aba fom emu aba fom emu wo fom fine anwa wo fom you don't have money obeye den na wakono akoto saade
okay
enu na ye important aban on spending in scanning na odi ase dollar side uko market ya niaman egu ho na ekoto
nti wo pache say wo dey afi there under Mahama government no
minka se onye bibi
da be say o ka say sika ni ubotom amount for this scam the didwa
yes I'm trading me ton paboa na me ncho me ton paboa ma ton paboa almost be 25 years the American say me ton paboa ma ton paboa 25 years so commit ma ton ade aba be pim sa abiri nipa ne ba ho oba de no price no e wo fom first meet me akofa mpaboa bi ebi a na 200 cedis enne ebi aba 180 170 e good but nipa ne beba opo no ebi a 200 anka wo pe 160 180 nkrompa nipa ne say me kwa aba no adane
okay to his brother. So from what he is saying, evidently, so not even assumed, but evidently, there seemed to be the reduction of prices on goods and services. Right. However, the people who are supposed to purchase these goods and services do not have the purchasing power. That is what he is saying. Yeah. So, Sikani a woman say mpaboane free 200 cedis about 180 cedis and so sikeni mi botoma mede kwa akoto. So I am sure that would be on the lines of employment and getting yourself work to something do and then earning something.
Let's talk to another caller. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Starboy, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
This is your farm from Volta region, Mr. David.
Please, can you speak up so we can hear you clearly?
Mr. David, calling from Volta region.
Okay, you're calling from Volta region, right. So can you share with us, has your standard of living improved?
Starboy, I have to be honest with you, tremendously. Yes, standard of living has improved. Not only...
Okay, just before you go on, can you speak up? We're struggling to hear you in here.
Okay, are you hearing me now?
Right, please go ahead.
I am saying it has improved tremendously. Okay. Yeah, because when you look at things now, at least with little amount of money, you can buy things and stuff you want in the market. Are you getting what I'm saying?
Yes, go ahead. I'm listening.
Yeah, so that's the reason why I said tremendously. Go to the market now. There is a deep freezer I bought 4,800 after November 2024. This December, I bought it 2,300. Is that not an improvement in standard of living? So when you come to food items in the market, there is a certain tomato, the tomato paste that we used to buy for 28 Ghana cedis. They call it Roko. Today in the market, it is 18 Ghana cedis. So my brother, to me, the standard of living overall has increased.
Right.
Even up to the level up to 70% if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Right.
So we have to give credit to those managing the economy. Really try.
Thank you very much for calling. We appreciate you for calling. We could do just a very last one, and then I'll take the final points from Jeffrey and also Shadrach in here. So let's do the final caller for today. Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from. Hello?
Hello.
Yes, please. Talk to us. Your name and where you're calling us from.
Opana Chobi, Inyaminu Toyoten.
Opana Yodugwa.
Yo, Opana Chobi Pluto Manche, me track at the new town.
Okay, Mache from Utah. Okay, go ahead.
Yo, inyemi olenoko. No ni gbawo naji. Then ache ni biano. Nine ache ni biano. Yemi aka ache ni biano. Bo chiko kwe wonenche waje baka ni bi kumeni wo fi e ma mi. Eji na gbaka ha wo fe. Mine wo mi kweto e manche ni wie neken. Wo ye ma mi na ka che fu e no. Chi wo dabe fe kumeni ma mi a he double fe kedi bi kumi. Indiscipline ye ma mi. Ni dawona. Mutuno ni wo yue here. Simi makebo anokwale brother. NDC power na mebane. Amakebo anokwale. Keke yue na makebo anokwale. Ni bi egbojo. Tutu blema ba he ni maybe. Nano ba mami 12 o'clock angmeno. Nano ba mami 5 o'clock angmeno. Meji na back ha we mami. Dere kabo yo sande kalabule ye mami lololo. Kalabule ye mami lololo. Meko yo abake task ko yo abake neken ye mami lololo. Mojini sana jeka je wote. Sikaka ba yo anu kwale biare ni ebu ko yen sika bibi obana ni eni no e. O nyi me na yo aka sika be ma kotoku mi kani bi shi anya yi ni kani bi. Ta fa cheta me na ho petu ete Ghana. Dia na e ba no ko tomo CCCD. Na ka sika ko bo ana ba nyo ka fi no ku. Ta me no yo to ku ta 200 dia na e ba 180. Na ka 2020 Ghana ko bo ana ba nyo ka cement mamuko me. No di na sanedi wo yo. Jeni gbonwo ba je ko de keshika baba bo fun wole ake nu tumo sane gba wona sane ba ne gbele nu tumo awo ya ke mami ni wo yo mi ake wo yen tomatoes wo yen si wo yen factories wona fedi wo bra ne bibi ne yen egbe ye mo am ko na metu na the end of the day scan ya mekotoku mi wo yen minu no ni gba wona na acho mi kwetu ye ma che skobe
Manche, Ofane Mindabushi, thank you very much for calling. Fortunately, I have two government in the studio to help me with the
translation. He called from Newtown, right. And then he is saying that yes, the truth is, or whatever thing we are saying here is the truth. There's been reduction in fuel prices. There's been reduction on food, agric products, and all the farm produce. Anything we want to talk about. However, one thing we should be talking about is human attitude towards business.
Okay.
And that is what is affecting most of us. According to him, we were complaining that maybe tomatoes is selling 2 for 10 cedis.
Right.
Now you're having a whole bowl for 10 cedis. Still, you will go to the market and you will find market women selling 2, or those who even buy it from, they'll buy it cheap from these market women, still come home and sell it 2 for 10 cedi.
Right.
So he was talking about, he said in time past, or a couple of decades ago, there were times you wake up in the morning, something is selling at 1 peso, by midday it's selling at 5 pesos, in the evening it gets to 10 pesos. It looks like we are adopting that attitude. That was why he was talking about the kalabuli.
Okay,
so,
right. So, Mr. Kos, I'm going to give you 1 minute to wrap up. Your thoughts about the government going into 2026, what your expectations are.
A quick one. I think the unemployment issue my brother mentioned, that is one thing. The purchasing power is affected. So if prices go down and it's not relative to people having the purchasing power, they still don't feel it in some genuine content. But then just to put that one with the fact also that exists, that there are people who are selling who are greedy. And these ones I've mentioned twice, 3 times, and 4 times. I'll repeat it to government again. There should be a deliberate attempt to have soft platforms to announce where people are relatively selling cheaper. And the Ministry of Trade should move in with gross alacrity to do this one. Because in the markets, there are people who have decided that they can sabotage. And that's what the term kalabule. I'm not too old, but I remember kalabule very well, where people hoarded goods and played with prices. And it's a situation that people benefit from, so they always do it. Now, I want Ghana to go tea. See, we should drink that tea. And it's T for tourism, E for extractives, and A for agriculture. These 3 sectors, by the ILO standards and reporting that I did for some years, shows that they are sectors, if you put your energies there, you get your return.
You get a lot,
With the tourism, you don't need to go and put the water on the stones at Hudi for them to drop, for people to go and watch. They are, Bole, you don't need to feed the elephants. Just make sure you create the good road systems and put infrastructure there. People will go and watch and give you money. And then extractives, let's move from royalties to local direct investment and make sure that we are the lead participators. And then finally to agriculture. The government has talked about a big push and the rest. Let's do it. But corruption, we should make sure, we should not just name it like the
minister is doing alone.
Yeah.
But we should recoup it. Whether the person ran away or stays, they have assets. Let's recoup it.
Let's do that. Right. Thank you very much for your time here. Jeffrey Okanse is Executive Director for Revenue Mobilization.
But did you take my final appeal to the president? I think we should repeat it again. The appeal that goes that those who have been ticked to have been corrupt
shouldn't get the extra.
Who are in the courts right now, they shouldn't go around there.
Shadrach will go.
Shadrach, please.
Shadrach will go and tell the president.
Appeal to the president for me.
Okay.
That the humble Banku Celestin says that the ones who have done us evil and stolen from us,
should not
they
be
shouldn't
giving
even
their
go. No, you don't even use the word giving. They shouldn't go around ex gratia. They shouldn't appear there.
Well noted.
Shadrach, thank you very much for your time.
Always welcome.
Yeah. Are you on break now?
I am not on break. I am still working.
Okay.
For God and country.
Right. So many thanks for joining us, and for those who called, many thanks for calling in. My name is Desmond Okrekudan. So this has been Good Afternoon Ghana. Do enjoy the rest of our programs, and Merry Christmas to you. Enjoy your holidays. Bye-bye.
This December, Faith Life Church crowns the year with 2 unforgettable nights of worship and power. On Tuesday, 30th December at 7 p.m., get ready for a transformational encounter, a night of music ministration featuring Team Eternity, Akase Brimpong, the Faith Life Collective, guest minister, Pastor Emmett Konedu. Then, on Wednesday, 31st December at 9 p.m., join us for a glorious watch night service as we cross from 2025 into 2026 under open heavens. With MOG Music and the Faith Life Collective leading prophetic praise and Pastor Daniel Yao Entry releasing divine instruction for your new year. Venue for both events is the Junction Mall, Nungwa Barrier. 2 nights, 30th and 31st December. One encounter with God. Faith Life Church, step into 2026.
Your dream home to building a legacy for your family, the Homeowner Show has been your trusted guide.
How sure are you what you're getting is the right land? And it has to do with searches, land commission, checking social planning authority, checking everything to make sure that what you are buying is not a problem or a challenge prone transaction.
The stress of even not owning a house and constantly coughing up to rent is a big issue.
Join me, Hannah Atiasi, and my distinguished panelists as we delve into exciting conversations. Season 3 of The Homeowner Show, every Saturday at 6 p.m., only on Metro TV. Don't just own a house, build a legacy for your family.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.
Hello, honey. Honey, my baby.
Yes, darling.
Yeah, I'm here. I have a surprise for you.
Okay. Yes, darling.
Surprised?
My daughter, how are you?
Are you alright?
Yes, I'm fine.
You're good?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Please, it's been a long drive from the village, okay? So please take care of Mama while I go and freshen up.
All right.
Take her to her room. Okay?
I will.
Mama, she's gonna take care of you. Let me freshen up.
Welcome, darling.
Yeah.
My daughter, how are you? It's been a long time we saw, but it's like you're not happy to see me. Is everything okay?
I'm not happy to see you. Your presence in this house irritates me. You are a witch. I don't know why my husband will bring you to this place without telling me.
Oh, did I do anything wrong?
Shut up. You see this calmness? You better appreciate it. Because if you mistakenly bring out the lioness in you, you will suffer. Witch. We have carried things. Let me show you to your room.
Oh.
Be fast. Because if you have sense, you will not come to this place without informing. Carry this room. Don't stress me. I'm not feeling for stress. That's it back. Hope you had your shampoo. Hey, no, go take that movie. Hey, please stop, please. My dreams cannot come to pass. That witch will not stay in this house, Biko. For absolute peace, she will not stay.
Baby, what's wrong with you? Are you still on that? I mean, can you just tell me? Can you just open up and tell me what's wrong
Why
with you?
would you bring her to this house without informing me? Why? Don't you know it's disrespectful?
Is that what it's all about? Okay. I'm sorry, okay? I just wanted to surprise you, right? But it's fine. I'm sorry. Mama is having high blood pressure, so I brought her here so that the doctor can always check on her, control her BP, and that's it.
So, does this place look like hospital to you? Talking about surprise, you didn't find any other befitting way to surprise your beautiful wife. You could not get me Millennium car. Surprise Onya with something tangible, diamond, gold, change their wedding band, and you want to surprise